Hey Riley, this is Keaton Everett from ABC going over your pitching video from the spring break camp. We're just gonna break it down and talk a little bit about mechanics and kind of go through step by step, frame by frame, and kind of assess what you're doing, what you're doing right, what we can work on, and just get yourself in a position to deliver the ball with as the most power we can have, the most consistency, and just get ourselves in a healthy position to deliver the ball. So basically, mechanics and pitching is all about being consistent. It's all about repeating our delivery. It's all about getting to ourselves in a position to maximize our strength, to maximize the rotational forces, and it's really all about what we're doing with our lower half. Are we staying closed? Are we opening up? What we're doing over the rubber. And so we'll start off by talking about how we're setting up, where our balance is, what our posture is doing, and we'll just start right here. So much of how we start dictates where we're going to finish. So we got to make sure we're starting in the right spot, breaking our hands at the same time, so we can finish. All right. So what we're going to mark here is where your head is, all right? And we're going to mark where your spine is. All right, so right now you're just set up, looks like right in the middle of your body. All right, your head's over here, and now we're going to watch what happens when you lift this foot up. All right, see that shift back? All right, all that is because you're about 50%, half and half set up. So what we need to do is just load up that back leg, that left leg, shift our weight over that back leg, so we eliminate, you almost want to start in this position with everything already loaded back. So our first movement up, we're not going backwards. I always say it's just like a sprinter. When you sprint out of the blocks, you don't rock back and then go forward. Your first movement's forward. So we want our first movement to be forward. We don't want any back movement. All right. So that's an easy fix. Just to practice. You come back and you're coming balanced and you're doing good over that back leg, but we just want to be already started up there. It's like 80% on your back leg, 20% on your front leg. All right. So that's just one of the things that'll help you out. It'll get you more consistent, and it'll help you generate a little more torque in your lower body. All right. Leg-wise, you're doing good at leading with your hips. We like to see the hips starting forward instead of, this foot and this knee swinging out forward. So you're doing a good job at driving your hips. You're keeping that foot closed. A lot of times you'll see guys' foot start to pop open. All right, so you're doing well at driving that hip down there and keeping everything closed. So that's good. All right, we like to see that. We get our power from the hips. We're driving the hips down the mound, and we're getting all our power from that. Okay. So now the next part we're going to look at is what we're doing at foot strike. All right. So what happens when our right foot hits the ground? Okay. So that's looking at about, I think it's about right there. We'll call that foot strike. All right. So a lot of times with younger guys, this is a big strength issue. But as you can see, your spine's starting to get out front over that front foot. All right, and you're just getting down early, and we want to see more of a neutral, perpendicular to the flat ground spine. So we're back more so in this position, and all that does is that just helps us get a little bit more torque in our lower body, and torque is basically, the ability for you to start that left hip forward before that upper body turns. So we almost want the hips facing the catcher, and your arms are back in this position. Your left shoulder hasn't even rotated forward yet, so you're back in this position. And again, that's a big strength coordination deal. So just the more we can kind of work on that and focus on that, the better off you're going to be. Okay, so one of the things that's going to help you get a little bit farther out is as you watching your right arm. All right, you see that this glove starts to curl in, and then you pull it down, and watch where it's almost coming out here underneath your elbow as you're releasing, right in this position. Alright, we want to try to keep that glove. It's more of an elbow rotation. You know, you're good at getting the glove out here, but then we're going to want, instead of that wrist to curl in and down, we're going to want just to drop your elbow and rotate that down. So as you're coming through, instead of that elbow staying up there, we're going to want to see that elbow more in that position with the glove out here. Alright, so don't think about curling your glove in and rotating it down. Think about keeping that glove out and rotating that elbow down, and that'll help you get farther out over that front foot. Okay, another thing that's going to do is as you get through release, as you can see, there's right when you're releasing it, and you can see that back foot off the ground. So the more you can get out front, the more you can keep that glove out there, it's going to help you keep that back foot on the ground. You know, it's just like, you know, the most powerful athletic position, you have 2 feet on the ground, you're able to transfer your energy through that entire left leg. So we need to be releasing the ball with 2 feet on the ground. So that's another thing that that will help you, is just to drive more through your lower half, use more of those legs, get more torque, and that'll start showing up. All right, so that's just that's something that's just a strength coordination, and you're young, and that's something that'll get a little easier to do as you get older. But we want to see that hip start to turn forward, then the shoulder comes through, foot still on the ground, release the ball, and then that foot comes out. Alright, so as you get more drive through that back left leg, you're going to see yourself finish a little bit farther out here. You know, your back's going to be a little bit more flatter, you're using more, you're just creating more torque, you're generating more forces, so you're going to have to finish a little bit farther out. So that's just something that will come with you know, more incorporation of your lower half. So but all in all, you know, it's pretty solid. We're going to go back and just make sure your arm angles are good and at a healthy spot, and it looks like you're keeping it pretty good arm. So, you know, a lot of times if we see this elbow up high and we get this shoulder abduction, you know, that leads into some problems. And if you see, you know, sometimes if it's real low, it'll lead to some problems. So it looks like you got a nice healthy arm slot, arm angle. You're not leading with that elbow, you're not letting that elbow get far out in front of your body. So everything looks good arm-wise. It's just a matter of timing up that lower half and using more of that lower body, using that right arm to help yourself get down a little bit farther, and you're going to be on the right path to getting everything synced up, increasing velocity, and keeping yourself a little more healthy. So anyways, good job, looks good. Hope you have a great season this year. Good luck. Thanks for making it out to our camp, and hope you had a good time, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.